Okay, so today I want to address the new bubble or new energy that is moving into Japanese cards. I have seen this a number of times, and there are a few factors that you need to bear in mind depending on, do you collect singles, do you collect sealed products, or do you invest in sealed products? Now there are a couple of things here. One, let's start with singles, okay? Now for single cards, all you need to do is go back and look at the data for like 2021, 2022 on what cards really picked up and took off. And then after that period of time, you'll see a massive retraction on those cards. Now, as modern sets are becoming popular because the English sets are not available, like Surging Sparks, Trestle Festival, these kind of like in-your-face new sets which everybody wants right now, and they can't get them in English, so they go for the Japanese, and pretty the Japanese price is up. And the 151 reprint was like, it happened, but it was kind of really small. Didn't really see it happen in Tokyo at all. I never found a box for the reprint for December at all. Because of that, prices are going up and up and up. Now, for singles in 2021, early 2022, we saw waifu cards, we saw tag team alt cards, we saw Red Cruiser alt cards, we saw sort of like just really going crazy prices. Even Umbreon, it was at double at what it is now, raw, ungraded. It was at 500,000 yen. It's sitting at a buy price for card shops at 500,000 yen, and it's at 250,000 yen right now. It has gone up recently, but it's still half of what it was in the bubble. Now this bubble seems to be bigger than the last bubble, but it's only happened really recently, I would say in the last 2 weeks, on Japanese, because English is just like non-available, can't be found, and people are just like, yeah, give me anything, I just want it, and it's pushing the prices of Japanese up again. Now, will English supply be this dry for months and months and months as it was in like 2021? If so, Japanese cards are going to go to the moon again. They're going to have there's normally a lag effect for the Japanese market. It's speedier for overseas single prices and box prices. Excuse me. But I would say we're looking at a 3 to 11 month price increase. 3 months. The reason I put that at such a low period of time is if the English printers go bruh and they do the same as they did in Japan, they have enough confidence to outsource to different vendors to be official printers of Pokemon cards, and they really ramp it through the ground and they push it through, then I think that this will just all fall away. Because as soon as the stock's available, we see the prices come down. It's happened time and time and time again. However, I don't think that's going to be the case, because if they were going to do that, they would have been ramping this up since the last bubble until now to be able to cover this up, but they haven't done that. And there just seems to be more and more collectors and more people speculating in this market in overseas. So I don't think the printers are going to be able to keep up. So I do think there is a run here. I would say, in my opinion, I say there's a run here for at least 6 to 11, 6 months to a year, I reckon. So coming back to point, if you look at the Japanese cards, which really went up, I mean, we're talking about Dream League character rares. We're talking about Dream League waifu cards. That was selling for like 170,000 yen raw, ungraded. Now it's going for 35 ungraded, and these are shop buy prices, okay? So you can see the range that there was there. Now this bubble has just started in a couple of weeks. The Japanese market's always delayed from the English market. It surges in, and then the overseas and the inbound are coming on holidays, buying stuff up and doing whatever they do, and then the interest comes from the Japanese market that they see prices going up, and then they start buying in, and the Japanese community is always behind the Western community on these trends. Doesn't matter what it is, they always are. So there's a lag period there of a couple of months. So even if you start to see stuff tanking in the overseas markets, you still got a little bit of time to get out of your position on Japanese cards, which makes it like Back to the Future. You've got this kind of like little 4 to 6 weeks window where you can go, okay, I need to get out of this right now. I need to like cash these out, or do whatever I might want to do with them. Put them in a basement and don't see them for 400 years. Whatever you want to do with that. But you've got that little window with Japanese, which makes it a little bit more safer, in my opinion, if you can read the market properly. So for single cards, my recommendation is to look at all of the singles that went to the moon last time around, and look at how cheap they are now, and then calculate, even if they double, they're still nowhere near where they were. So there is money to be made there right off if you're a singles person. Now, sealed boxes, I think long term, I've always said will do well. Short term, Surging Sparks, stuff like that. Surging Sparks is getting really kind of difficult to find in Tokyo now. I found a few convenience stores that got it, but the main kind of suppliers where you could, like department stores or video shops or electronic stores where you could buy a sealed box, they don't have anything. People have gone and bought sealed boxes, they don't have anything, and they're not getting restocked at this point in time anyway on it. I think there will be restocks on these modern products for sure, but some of them will. And for example, EV Heroes, Evolving Skies, that wasn't, I mean, the Pokemon company could have just printed that into the ground, but they didn't. They eased off on some sets and they kept them back. And from my opinion, I think that's a strategy that over the 3-year window of, you know, Sun and Moon or whatever the series might be, they pick a few sets that they go, okay, we're not going to print these guys. We're going to leave these a little bit short just to keep some momentum in the market, and we print the rest into the ground if we have to. So in this new era, what are the sets that are not going to print too much? Is Surging Sparks one of them? It could be, and it looks possibly that way. So yeah, I mean, if you buy those sets and you sit on them and you leave them, they do fine. However, because all prices are going up right now in the last couple of weeks, and I do think, like I just said, that it's, from my opinion, 6 months to a year that we're going to see some kind of like a bump across all boats are going to rise. I think sealed product in the short term on pretty much anything is going to go up a little bit. So if you can get it and flip it and get it and flip it in like a 3 months to 6 months, then extrapolate that out up to the 12 months. I think there's a little bit of a window there where you can make some money. For example, Surging Sparks, if you buy a box for 5,000 yen at a shop, it's going for 12,000 yen right now. So if you bought 40 boxes, you're doing okay, no problem. Some of the other sets, they're only making like 1,000 yen after seller's fees and whatever. It's just not worth it. So but they could be something that you could buy right now, which you might be able to flip in 8 months from now and make 4,000 yen a box, which is nearly double. Then, you know, you've done okay. So there are a few strategies going on right now, or should be going on right now. But the main one for me is look at the singles on where they went and what ones went up, because you know that they've got growth until there in a bubble period, right? Now we're just entering a bubble period right now, and these cards are already starting to move, but you know where the ceiling is. It's like a share, like, I don't know, whatever you might want to buy, ABC company share, that went up to $5, but it's gone down to $1, and it went up to $5 because all boats rose up, right? And it was one of the ones which did well, and it didn't have a ceiling until $5. It's the same as these cards. If you had a card that went to 100,000 yen in the bubble period, because everybody just went like silly on stuff, then if that card's sitting at 30,000 yen, it's starting to move right now, then people in their mind that this card has a potential value of 100,000 yen, because that's where it's gone to before. So therefore, in their minds, or in a lot of people's minds, that still doesn't have a ceiling until it hits that 100,000 yen again. So even the card shops are like, well, yeah, we can push it up there because it's been up there before. So yeah, okay, all right, we're moving all these boats. Let's move these ones up first. And I think that's the way that we're going to see things going over the next 3 to 12 months. Just my opinion. Take it with a block of salt. But yeah, don't say that I didn't tell you, because I did tell people on the last 2 bubbles, and some people followed, and some people listened, and some people didn't. And it's all about what you want out of the hobby. If you just want to collect, if you want to flip, or you want to invest for the long term, or you want to look at the trends. And this video is all about the trend, because basically this is where things went to last time, and we are right down on the floor right now, only 25 to 30% above where it fell to. And this time this bubble is bigger. I can see it already. It's definitely bigger. So it's going to be really interesting. But like I said, no financial advice. Make your own decisions. Don't buy outside of your means, and enjoy the hobby. So anyone got any questions, either send me something on Instagram. It's Han_J55. I always follow up on messages or anything people got instantly on that. But on YouTube, if you want to send a comment or something as well, I'll try my best to follow up on that. I don't, look at that so often, but yeah, definitely Instagram, but if not, YouTube. So thanks for watching, and bye from Tokyo.